Expedia and Visit Scotland invite you to come experience the beauty that awaits in Scotland. The sweep of wild coastlines, quiet lochs, and untamed landscapes. Fresh cuisine that feels rooted in the land. Come experience the kind of stillness that stays with you long after you leave. Plan your Scottish escape today at expedia.com/Visit Scotland.
Taxi! This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Dave Scott, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
I appreciate that.
Congratulations for being on the other side of midnight. Now, on Friday,
Yes.
the U.S. government released many more UFO files. To what degree have you had a chance to study them, look at them? What are your impressions? What do you think? How do you feel about this? Take your time.
Well, we got another 222 files. You can go to the government website, .gov/UFO, and you can actually look at the files there. There were another 46 videos that were released. Some of them a little controversial. Okay, a lot of them focused around the ocean. Some of them focused around, it looks like desert mountains. But there was one, Walter, that really kind of caught me off guard, and I was wondering whether or not this was part of some sort of misinformation or disinformation campaign. And that one was, they showed the footage of the F-16 from the cockpit of the F-16's FLIR camera shooting down the balloon in, I believe it was Lake Huron. If you remember when the Chinese balloon phenomena was happening, and
oh yes,
but they never confirmed that it was balloons, and they kind of have put that under the unidentified anomalous phenomena. Well, they released the video, and it shows the balloon getting shot by a missile and going pop, because that's what balloons do. They don't explode; they pop. And it just kind of made me wonder whether or not we're starting to see maybe a little bit of the disinformation campaign regarding these videos, because why would you put such an obvious video and try and title it under unidentified anomalous phenomena when we know what it was? Number one, we know. The only thing we don't know is who launched it. Was it a weather balloon from a university? Was it some sort of spy balloon from China? Why show us the video that could have been shown, back a couple of years ago when this was happening? It made no sense whatsoever for me.
Well, and that's all it showed was a weather balloon?
Yeah, going pop.
What else was released? What else impressed you?
Well, I think the number of videos, okay, yes, we got more dots, okay, like the game of Pong. But I think what's impressing me the most about all of this is the fact that they are very open to releasing more files. Okay, so in the last couple of weeks now, we've had 161 released, now 222 released. I'm hoping that in 2 weeks' time, we're going to get another release. The exciting part for me isn't so much what is in the information, because the information is bland. It's like watching someone drive a beige Volvo. It's bland, okay? And I think the exciting part of it, though, is that we are getting more and more. They are testing the levels. There was more about NASA and the communications that they have had with sparkles in the sky, astronauts like Gene Cernan talking about these sparkling lights in the sky and how they seem to be surrounding his craft. And they were debating whether or not it was ice crystals from space, because space is very cold. Okay. And, I think as long as that door to communication is open, the American public is going to be very much better off. It's like they're going through this educational system on this. No, we don't have aliens yet. We don't have the Roswell case yet, or whether President Eisenhower traded humans for technology. We don't have that. But what we are getting is a slow, simple leak of information that is showing that there is something anomalous going on. We just don't know how far they're going to take it.
Do you think there are files that we haven't seen that show actual aliens, actual rocket propulsion systems? Do you think there's more? Or do you think we're just going to see a lot of Pong videos?
Well, I think we're going to get a lot more Pong videos. And I think people who are looking into this need to remember one thing. A lot of these Pong videos that we are seeing are from not the United States, but they're from areas that are having military conflict, usually in the Middle East. A lot of them have come from Syria. A lot of them have come from Iran, Iraq, that whole Middle Eastern area. And I would suspect that that is some sort of American-type technology that we just don't know about. But that being said, to answer your question, I do believe that there are extra videos out there of crash retrievals, potentially of alien bodies that could be maybe sitting in some hangar at Area 51 or at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base where they could present it to us. Not just little pieces of fragments of metal, but actual craft. That's when we'll know this stuff is really real.
But what if there isn't anything like that? What if it is only flashing lights in the sky, strange laser beams from the sky that could be drones? What if there are no beings?
Well, that also leads to a question of whether or not we're falling for some sort of alien false flag invasion. You know, in order to tighten up the world a little bit, so to speak, take away more rights, take away some freedoms. There is that speculation. Dr. Stephen Greer has felt that that has been the reason, one of the reasons potentially for all of this happening right now, is that they are preparing us for some false flag type of scenario that aliens are coming and they're not friendly and they want to harm us. They want to take our planet away from us, and we have to put nuclear weapons up in space in order to protect humanity from these dastardly devils that are coming from the sky, trying to prevent Armageddon and what's in the book of Revelation. So we do have that theory out there as well.
You think it's possible that if they establish a UFO threat and have the Space Force, and they keep announcing that there's a threat, that we could have the next level of 9/11 control, the next level of control of security that was established on September 11th, right after September 11th, the Freedom Act or whatever that was, the Patriot Act, and now we're going to go to the next level where they can control us even more, or else we won't be able to fight the UFOs. Is that the idea?
Well, that is the theory behind the potential alien false flag. And look, I know because I asked the question to a gentleman named Luis Elizondo, who ran the ATIP program at the Pentagon, I believe between 2007 and 2012, somewhere in there. And I asked him that question when it came to COVID. Now, whether or not you believe in COVID, that is really, up to you. I'm not here to debate COVID or whatever. But what I did ask him was the way people treated each other. Okay? Were there concerns about the UFO story, which is much bigger than COVID? Okay? Were there concerns about the way people were treating each other? Hoarding toilet paper, hoarding milk, hoarding meat, ratting out their neighbors, ratting out their fellow citizens, because they weren't wearing a mask or they weren't, they had too many people over at Christmas, and he said, yes, we actually were watching, and it was very disappointing to see how people were treating each other during that very tough time during the pandemic. And I said, were you equating that to how people would react towards UFOs? And he said, yes. And he said society failed. To put it bluntly, so we failed. So the big question is, will people be able to handle it? And if so, does that give the government the right to tighten things up by some sort of false flag if they need to, using aliens as the catalyst?
Well, what would they present to us that the aliens could do that they need to tighten things up? What do you imagine that story would be like?
Well, I think that it would start that a mothership is coming, and we don't know whether they are good or bad, and we can't take any chances. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tighten up fuel. We're going to have to tighten up everything. We're going to have to put major armament in space to try and deter this mothership or these motherships coming in. Remember, threat narratives create budget. That's the big thing. Threat narratives create budget.
Threat narratives create budget. Got it.
Yes. And that's what I think it comes down to. You take away rights, you create more budget because there's an imminent threat, and when you have a society who's living off of fear, they're more susceptible to being tricked that there is something nasty coming. And they don't care as long as they're told they are safe, but just follow the rules.
Dave Scott, how do we find you online?
You can always find me at spacedoutradio.com. My email is info@spacedoutradio.com. And I would ask a favor from the Midnight Misfits, if you don't mind. After this show, go over to my YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio. I'm literally 40 subscribers away from 30,000 on our YouTube channel. I would love to hit 30,000 overnight.
These strange goals that YouTube gives us. Walter Sterling, thank you very much, Dave Scott. Dave Scott, at this time every night on the other side of midnight to discuss in depth the UFO phenomena, conspiracies, and remember, he's Canadians. And the thing about Canadians is they are incapable of lying. Canadians always tell the truth. It's the weirdest thing. They also always obey the rules. Obey the rules, Canadians. Yes, you and I are talking about junk food, things we don't admit to our friends, family, relatives. You and I eat things that we don't want anyone to see. This is a good way for you to vent it, get rid of your guilt for doing it. There are two things I eat that my wife does not know about, and because I have the blessing of her never listening to this show, she won't know. I eat gas station chicken, which is not Wawa chicken, gas station chicken. Pretty much the only thing they make in that gas station is chicken. I don't know where they get that seasoning. It is spectacular and terrible for me. And then Hostess orange cupcakes. You know about the chocolate ones. You've heard about them. But you didn't know about the orange ones. They're not easy to find, but you have to be careful. They're next to another cupcake that looks the same, but it is not. The lemon cupcakes. To me, terrible. But the orange cupcakes, a blessing from the skies. And I don't mean Dr. Sky. I mean the skies. Have you heard Dr. Sky? That's quite a show. My phone number is 800-848-9222. My name is Walter Sterling. This is The Other Side of Midnight, Red Apple Audio Networks.